What it do, guys. This is your boy, Roy, with the Preaching to the Birds podcast, bringing you the latest and breaking news as an Eagle fan for you. And today we got some special stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about Kelee Ringo and how he finally signed on the dotted line. We're going to talk about Dak Prescott and how we know for a fact he's not going to have under 10 fucking interceptions this year. The schedule's too hard. He's going to press. And then we're going to talk about Bijan Robinson, sadly, and how we were never, ever going to actually sign Bijan Robinson to a contract. All right, let's get into it. So our boy Kelee Ringo of the Philadelphia Eagles has finally signed his contract. So he signed a 4-year, $4 million contract. All the full details haven't come out yet, but I'm assuming that, the contract took so long to get taken care of because of injuries and Kelee Ringo's past, right? What does that mean for the Philadelphia Eagles, though? So what that means to the Philadelphia Eagles is that we have signed 5 or 6 players from the story 2021 college football team that was said to be one of the greatest college football teams of all time, led by Nakobe Dean. Now we have an opportunity for the defense to be really solid for the next 4 to 5 years, because we have 4 or 5 defensive studs on the defense that are locked down in very low risk management contracts, because the rookie contracts are very cheap, especially players like Kelee Ringo that are getting $1 million per year. So now we're going to talk about Dak Prescott, right? So we're going to read an article. We're going to go over an article by Bobby Kaunak off of NFL.com. And yeah, I'm going to show you what they're talking about, and I'm going to go over how many interceptions I think Dak Prescott is going to have. So Cowboys QB Dak Prescott, confident he won't repeat season with double-digit interceptions. I know who I am is what he's saying, right? So Dak Prescott led the league last year with a career-high 15 interceptions while playing quarterback for arguably the NFL's most high-profile team. Then he added 2 more picks in a divisional round loss to the 49ers. He understands the intensity of the spotlight on his every mistake. You don't really. We are a talking point. The Cowboys QB said at his youth football camp early in July, per the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. As you find something to talk about, that's the first thing to go to. But he also allows himself some leeway when considering the turnover party he threw in 2023. I know who I am, and you can go back and take away half of those drops, Prescott said. I'm not saying it's on the receiver, but if you cut that in half, then we start talking about those. Nobody is talking about it. He definitely threw his receivers under the bus there, but let's go into it. Come on, let's continue with the article. And then while not quite half can be contributed drops, like I said, 4 of his regular season interceptions did include deflections off Dallas receivers, with a couple of them almost certain to fall harmlessly if otherwise untouched, and another found now teammate Stephon Gilmore as a wide receiver fell after contact. Opposing defenses also capitalized on Prescott's turnover-worthy plays at a high rate. Prescott tied for 13th in the league with 18 turnover-worthy plays in the regular season, alongside other stars such as Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Kyler Murray. According to Pro Football Focus, Mahomes and Rodgers both threw 12 picks, while Murray only tossed 7. Josh Allen and Geno Smith led the league with 29 turnover-worthy plays apiece, and they too got away with fewer interceptions than Dak Prescott. Still, Prescott remains responsible for leading the NFL in the category, even if he can explain some away, and he also managed to do so in just 12 games. Staggering. Regardless of how He ended up there. He has no plans to repeat performance in the upcoming season. That confidence partly stems from increased communication under head coach Mike McCarthy, who's now calling plays after parting ways with offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. Some of it is the offense, Dak Prescott and his gang, and them understanding exactly where we are. Mike does an amazing job with those guys. They know where to be, why to be there, and when they're getting looked at. That's going to be a big jump. Prescott's premonition will likely hinge on another safety blanket at tight end now that Dalton Schultz has departed to Houston, as well as quick chemistry with Brandon Cooks and a return from Michael Gallup. A full season removed from his 2021 ACL tear, those developments would presumably help open up number one wide receiver ceiling for safer targets, all of which should help Prescott mightily. Beyond that, Prescott obviously needs to devote special attention to his ball security. He'd never been a leader in picks before 2022, but last year it didn't entirely sneak up on him. He has thrown double-digit interceptions in 4 of the 6 years where he's played double-digit games. If he can right his turnover woes, either through performance, better luck, or both, perhaps the talking points surrounding Dallas next season will find a more positive spin. So that's when the article ends, and I'm going to tell y'all straight the fuck up. Dak Prescott is going to probably do worse this year. He's probably going to do worse because Kellen Moore was known as a freaking stud, bro. He was known as a boy wonder, a boy genius before Dak Prescott started throwing interceptions, right? He can blame the receivers like he did. What did he say? Let's go back, right? So he blamed the receivers and said, this is Dak Prescott I'm talking about. He said, some of the offense... No, let me go back to the front. Let me go back to the first part. I'm going to say all of it, right? I'm going to say the whole thing. He was talking about, I know who I am, and you can go back and take away half of those drops, Prescott said. I'm not saying it's all on the receiver, but if you cut them in half, then we start talking about those, right? Well, if you cut those in half, bro, you talking about just drops. We ain't talking about like all of the throws you were just throwing to random people, bro. Even if you cut those in half, bro, the deflection plays where the ball bounced off one of your Cowboys receivers' hands and it went to another defender, you're still almost leading the league in picks, bro. You led the league in interceptions, bro. And you thinking that just because Mike McCarthy does a great job in getting guys to understand where they're going to be, if these guys aren't open, you're still going to throw that pick, bro. Like, I'm just being real. Like, if these guys aren't open, let's be real. Brandon Cooks is 30 years old in the league. He's going to be 30 years old when he's playing this year in the NFL. Same age as James Bradbury, same age as Darius Slay, but I will say this. I will say Brandon Cooks has been very injury prone in his career. If we don't remember that from the Super Bowl where he got knocked out by Malcolm Jenkins, I would be surprised if Brandon Cooks actually plays the whole season, especially if Dak Prescott starts off badly, right? So, but you know what? And then on top of that, Mike McCarthy, before we even jump into my next point, Mike McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers for like 6-7 years, bro. He had one chip with Aaron Rodgers. So you're telling me that a dude that's doing such a great job with your wide receivers couldn't get more than one chip with Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest throwers of the football we have ever seen? Get the fuck out of here, bro. He's not doing that great of a job. And when your receivers are covered, bro, you're going to do the same Cowboys shit you always do. You're going to throw it to the dude that's covered. Another person's going to intercept the ball. And we're going to go the other way like Josh Sweat did last year to y'all. Pick 6. That is exactly what's going to happen. Now, if we go over Dak Prescott's schedule in the 2023 season, you will understand why he will be pressing in the beginning of the season, right? So let's hop into that schedule, right? So he starts off the 2023, Dak Prescott starts off the 2023 NFL season with the New York Giants September 10th, right? So I'm going to say that Adoree Jackson gets a pick early in the season. I think he gets one. I think the Giants are better than people are giving them credit for. I don't think that they beat the Giants. I don't think the Giants beat the Cowboys this year. At least not to start off the season. I think they're still one or two pieces away. I think they need either more interior depth in their O-line, or I think they need more interior defensive strength in their D-line. But I don't think they're ready yet. I just don't think they're ready yet to beat the Cowboys. But I think that Adoree Jackson, their first-round pick, I think he shows why he's a first-round pick, why he, in my opinion, was probably one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the draft last year. But yeah, you'll see why. I think he's gonna get picked. So that's 1 interception already, right? 2, he gonna play against Sauce Gardner. That's another pick. So they're gonna start off 1-1. I'm not gonna go over the entire schedule and what I think that their record is gonna be, more than likely in this. But I'm gonna give you a couple of hits about what I think their schedule will kind of look like, because this is the Eagles podcast. But I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, he gonna start off 1-1 for the season, and then Arizona, he gonna get that. So that's 2-1. New England, they gonna give him a hard time. So I think that's gonna be 2-2. Or you know what? No, I'm gonna give it to him. They'll get 3-1, but I think they're gonna give an interception there. So he's gonna have at least 3 picks in the first 4 games, bro. I think that boy Christian Gonzalez there, I think Dak Prescott ain't gonna have nobody to throw it to. So I think he's gonna get like at least 3 interceptions already in the season. And that's when Dak Prescott's gonna start tripping. So like, he gonna see the San Francisco 49ers. He'll be 3-1 there, but he gonna take a loss because that's his kryptonite. The 49ers are his kryptonite, right? We already know he's lost the last 2 years to these dudes. Last 2 years of these dudes alone in the NFC Championship game. I don't see a reason why he's not gonna do it again. With the D-line they have, the fact that they just got Javon Hargrave there, stolen from us, it's cool, it's whatever, do your thing. We got, Karma's a bitch, we got Jalen Carter, it's all right. So they gonna start off about 3-2, right? Cool. But he's gonna already have 4 or 5 picks. And I think he probably gonna give up 2 interceptions there, because that team, like I said, the 49ers is his kryptonite. Then we gonna hop into week 6 with the Chargers. I think he gonna get a dub there. The Chargers, in my opinion, I think realistically, we got 1 more year until the Kellen Moore season starts as head coach. I think Kellen Moore will replace Brandon Staley as the coach over there. I think it's just a matter of time. Brandon Staley is trash. I don't like he's been drafting. Personally, I feel so strongly about the Chargers, but it's another story. All right, cool. And then, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm also a Charger fan, but I had to stop fucking with the team because, goddamn it, when we went down, when we lost after we was up by 20 fucking points at the halftime, and Brandon Staley didn't get fired, I said I couldn't be a fan no more. I couldn't do it. Fuck, how you gonna be a defensive coordinator, and lose a halftime lead of over 20 points and not get fired? I can't go with it. I can't fuck with it. But anyways, let's go back to this. So the Rams, they gonna give up the L. So the team gonna be, be at a good like 4-2. Then they gonna play the Eagles. Boom. They gonna give up some interceptions there. It's at Philadelphia. I think that the pressure from Dak Prescott seeing Jalen Hurts make it to the Super Bowl really gets to him. The reason why I said that, I think his personality type can't take the pressure. I'm not. Hey, bro, you made it to the NFL. I'm not trying to be a hater, bro. I'm just trying to be realistic, bro. The last 2 years, bro, you have lost to the 49ers in the playoffs in a row. Not this last year, but the year before that was so embarrassing, and it showed me the type of mentality you have, and it's not a good mentality. And the reason why I say that is because you got to know time and situation. When you're spiking the ball, you got to know what the down and distance is, and you got to know that you only got a couple seconds. And when you played the 49ers the first time, when I think you had the opportunity to win, you didn't know that. So I think you were going to choke again in this situation, and you're going to, give up them interceptions, boy. But, yeah, he's going to play New York again on the 10th, and that's when they start, really getting their confidence and shit. But I think he's still going to be throwing interceptions. So, yeah, he's going to be at like 6-7 already, week 10. Carolina, I think he's going to get an interception. Washington, he's going to get an interception with that skinny kid. That skinny kid at 160, I don't remember his name, but Washington got him over Christian Gonzalez. I think he's going to do some work. Then we got Seattle. Tyreek Woolen going to get an interception. So he had like 7, 8 interceptions. Philadelphia going to give up 1. Buffalo, he's going to give up 1. Miami, he's going to give up 1. That's 10 right there. Washington again? Yep, 11. Come on now. It's going to be, he's going to be at 11, 12 interceptions by the end of the year. And that's not 15. It's not. It's really not. But realistically speaking, bro, 12 is still a pretty good amount of interceptions. And it's more than what he's saying he's going to do. And I'm not even trying to be a hater. I'm just sure with the pressure he has, with Mike McCarthy being his new coordinator, his new offensive coordinator, in the sense that he is now the head coach and offensive coordinator, I think it's going to be too much pressure for Dak Prescott. This is simply because Aaron Rodgers had Mike McCarthy for 7 to 8 years, bro. 7 to 8 years, and he didn't do with him. He didn't do a goddamn thing with him, bro. He didn't do a thing with him. He got one chip. He had all those receivers over there. Donald Driver. He had Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson. All of them receivers over there got one chip. He got one chip, had 3 to 4 receivers. I didn't even mention James Jones. He got one chip. And you think that a Dak Prescott with an older Brandon Cooks, with a CeeDee Lamb that's in the slot, a Michael Gallup that's still coming off the injury. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see Mike McCarthy fixing the problems there. I just don't. Matter of fact, I think Mike McCarthy taking the reins is going to make that offense worse. Because simply this, there's going to be more pressure on Mike McCarthy. And when pressure happens to Dallas Cowboys players, coaches, everything, they crumble. They fold like some blankets, okay? And I think we're going to tuck them in at night, and we're going to send Dak Prescott off to another team by the end of the season. That's what I think is going to happen, for real. Because, look, let's just be honest here. Let's be completely honest here. Dak Prescott is a choker. We have seen him choke a lot. I don't see why a man that's getting older in the NFL would get... Well, let me say it like this. A man that's getting older in the NFL that isn't doing anything to specifically change his game to be better. I mean, specifically changing his game to be better. Like, what is Dak Prescott working on from year to year to make himself better? What? Nothing. I haven't seen him. I haven't heard of nothing. We knew for a fact Jalen Hurts was changing his motion. He was changing his motion and how we threw the ball so we can get his release time better. When have we ever seen Dak Prescott do that? I haven't seen Dak Prescott work out on his fitness, his physical fitness, since his rookie year, bro. His rookie year. Why am I not seeing Dak Prescott? All I see is little hip movements, the same hip movements. Nobody gives a fuck about that Russell Wilson hip movement shit. Nobody gives a single fuck. I'm sorry for the kids. I don't normally cuss. Nobody gives a fuck about that. You look like you're doing some salsa and shit. We need you to be out here throwing shit we need to be throwing accuracy passes. We need you to be throwing balls into the hoop and shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about, with the little hoops and the nets, and you throw them in there, and the stuff they do for the skill challenges at the Pro Bowl and shit. He need to be doing that. He need to be hitting targets moving. Because he's obviously throwing the ball to other fucking players, bro. Other teams and shit. How do you miss 4 games and lead the league in interceptions because you're pressing as a player, bro. You're pressing. And I think you're going to fold again like you always been folding because you're about to be 30, bro. And I know life gets harder at 30. You're not as young, bro. That's just how life is. I'm about to turn 30. I just turned 30, actually. I'm capping. I just turned 30. Life don't get easier as you get older. It gets harder. You play a professional sport. Nigga, come on. Now these young boys is coming for it. And I don't see him having that Tom Brady type mentality. But all right, we're going to hop into the next topic, all right? Dak Prescott's going to have about 12 interceptions. Cool. But let's hop into the next one. Bijan Robinson was never going to be an Eagle, and I'm going to tell you why. So the Eagles are paying, in total, the Eagles are paying their running backs about $6 million. About $6 million, right? I'm going to make this last part short. Bijan Robinson is making $14 million. $14 million. Howie Roseman was never, ever, sadly going to have Bijan Robinson be a part of the Philadelphia Eagles. It was never going to happen. The reason being is because we don't allocate money like that towards running backs. We don't. Miles Sanders left. He got his bag. He got close to that, about $12 million, I think. We don't do it. We don't do that. It's not going to happen. It was never going to happen, regardless of how much we wanted it to happen as Eagles fans. It's cool, though. I'm happy we got Jalen Carter. We paired him with Jordan Davis. We really rebuilt this defense with a championship-level defense from a college football team that can grow together. Think about Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, and Jordan Davis and Hassan Reddick growing together, because Hassan Reddick is only 28. Only 28. He's still got 4 great years of D-line play in him, at least. And we still have him under contract for 2 more years, even though I hope he gets a contract extension or gets some type of pay increase, because let's be honest, Hassan Reddick is drastically underpaid for his position. There's no way he should have had 17 and a half sacks and went up to 19 by the end of the season and be getting paid about 10th, 15th in his position. Come on, now he needs to be top 5 paid. But that's all I really got for y'all today. I hope y'all are doing great. Hope y'all are getting laid. I hope y'all are doing something and being made, man, okay? All right. Let's get it.